brain. Welcome into his frequency. Enter at your own risk. Come be at peace with me. Ask the Paul, where we rise and don't fall.
Welcome back to another episode of Baxter's Buzz. I am your host, Baxter E. Hall. Welcome to my brain. Welcome to my frequency. Enter at your own risk. Now, today, I have a returning guest, a common visitor of Baxter's Buzz and my frequency. She is an avid traveler. She is a PhD candidate and a senior diversity, equity, and inclusion manager, Neferiatiti Holt. Welcome back to Baxter's Buzz, Nefi. How are you?
I'm great. Thank you so much for having me, Baxter.
Oh, man, my pleasure, my pleasure. So, for folks that may not know, I've just written my first book. It is called, thank you very much. It is called Angelic. It's a letter to Zara. It's a letter to my daughter. I am going over some really important lessons, 8 lessons to be exact. And as I started to think about and share with you, Nefi, what the book was about and some of the lessons, I was like, oh, it would be really awesome if you could join me to talk about 1/2 of them. They kind of dovetail together, but the lesson that I thought about for you specifically is because how hard you work. And I know that you spend a lot of time just kind of working away, right? One of the chapters is called the harder you work, the lonelier that you may feel, right? And I really wanted to communicate to her and others that it's okay. Sometimes you're gonna have to just put your head down, get tunnel vision, and get things done. And the projects that you may be working on, it's probably not gonna be as important to everyone as it is to you. And that's okay. That's okay. And yeah, people will meet you at the finish line. They'll get you some water and some flowers, right? They'll be like, Neffy, great job, right? Yeah, they're not gonna run that race with you, and and you shouldn't expect them to, right? So talk about how you learn that and like the loneliest. I know like the how you can feel a bit when you're doing your study and you're working on projects and masters and second masters and all of that stuff, right? And now a PhD candidate. Like, speak to sort of how you've managed to get through that and gotten over like the fact that you like it's just you, Neff. Like there's certain things that you have to go at alone, right?
Right. So the first thing that I think of that's most recent is my current PhD candidacy, and I am a ABD, which is all but dissertation. And I had a conversation with my chair, and I love him because he's very assertive and he's very upfront. Initially, you're like, whoa, but then over time, you appreciate that upfrontness. And he told me, he says, doesn't matter if a dog gets hit by a car, it doesn't matter if someone gets sick. He goes, unless you die, he goes, the expectation is for you to get this done. Otherwise, why are you enrolled? And I was kind of like, oh my gosh, that was so reflective. He goes, sometimes you have to say no. But he didn't stop there. He told me about his candidacy, his family, his job. And he told me how he had to make these sacrifices and put boundaries and guardrails in place to do so. And so for me, it has been lonely because there's times where I'm working on my regular job for 8-9 hours, depending on what my projects are, and then pick up my kids and then try to exercise for my own mental health and stress level reducing. And then I'll be in this office until 1 o'clock in the morning. In fact, this Saturday, I was up until 4 o'clock in the morning getting things done because as writers, you get into this groove and you like don't want to stop the groove of writing. Now, the next day I paid the price and had to peel myself out of bed to go to church. And it's still on me. The monkey's still on my back from me making that sacrifice. But guess what? I produced the 20 pages per week that I had to produce and what I promised in my own term plan. So the difference is when you're ABD, there's nobody telling you you have to do this, you have to do that. You know what you have to do. You read through it and you have to deliver, or you don't, and you waste time and you waste money. So it's lonely, but you have to be aware of your surroundings, aware of your distractions, and you have to learn that your no's mean no. Because agreeing with you is that at the end they're going to say, "Oh, that's my friend. That's my PhD friend, or that's my nephew, and here's the flowers." But the race, oh no, they're not going to run the race with me.
That's right. Nobody can write those papers for you. Yeah. So they may be doing something that seems a lot more fun at the time, right? It's like, hey, come out, let's have dinner. Let's, we're taking a quick trip out of town. And it's like, no, I can't, right? I need to get this done. The other piece of that, and like I said, it's really a similar theme in my the way I see it is the delayed gratification piece, right? We're in this microwave era where we want everything, we want it right now. Speak to your mental approach as far as this PhD candidacy and knowing, and even your two masters. Speak about how you approach it mentally, knowing that there's going to be time and effort put into it, but you're committed to sort of getting on the other side of it.
Well, I always think about like really trusting the process, because a lot of times we want instant gratification, this microwave society. But I actually was having a conversation with my 20-year-old son today and letting him know, because he wants the whole world now. And I explained to him, sweetheart, if it was that easy, first of all, everyone would do it. And if everyone's a winner, then no one's a winner at all. And he goes, what do you mean? I said, everyone's race is different. Someone's going to have X, Y, and Z now. You don't know what the story was. People will say, I want the glory. But you ain't got to tell me the story. Spare me all the nuts and bolts of what happened. So for me, it's really like, okay, celebrating every single milestone, sharing those celebrations with people who are very close to me. And another thing that really helps me is having accountability, partners. So I have a young lady named Ito, and I love her. We started the program together initially, and she's ahead of me. So right now I'm in the proposal stage, waiting to get my chapter 1, 2, and 3 done. And she's already getting hers approved, and she's waiting on the IRB approval. So she, sent me a message this morning saying, hey, I'm your accountability partner. Where are you at? What you're doing? This is where I'm at. This is what I'm doing. And I'm like, oh my God, thank you. Especially with you doing it online, you need that, because you are basically by yourself. So it's really important to have those partnerships. And it's really important for you to communicate where you are. I think that a lot of times, especially PhD candidates, people that like you, that you're in sales, if you don't communicate what your desires and goals are, people just don't know what to expect, and they don't know what's going on. And it's not fair to them, right, to withdraw and say, hey, I have X, Y, and Z to do. Like everyone that's in my circle knows, Nefi has 20 pages a week for the next couple of weeks. Nefi can't go here, Nefi can't talk, and Nefi can't text. It's nothing personal. It's that I'm tunnel vision. And just like you, I'm sure that you got to stop and say, I can't do X, Y, and Z. And people who love and care for you and support you, they have no choice but to be there for you. Otherwise, you got to prune your people. And that's one thing I love about spring. And I'm a big flower and landscaping person. Everything that I pruned came back. Had I not pruned it, it wouldn't come back. So I believe in pruning within as well.
Well, let me just say, you have also ended up touching on a couple other topics of this book, but I'm not going to keep you any longer. I can't wait for you to read it, because you'll appreciate the lessons, things that we've talked about ourselves, as we've gotten to know each other and share sort of what our goals are. And yeah, these things, the competition, we can't run from it. We have to know that certain things we're going to have to go at it alone. I applaud you for all the hard work that you're doing. It's been an inspiration to me. And I also just appreciate you sharing your knowledge on my platform, because you have so much to offer. And I really think that the relationships with my circle, you being part of that, has really helped shape the message that I wanted to put inside the book. So thank you, Neff.
Thank you so much. And you're just as inspirational as well. And I do believe that iron sharpens iron. So thank you so much for being iron.
Thank you. Thank you. So on behalf of Nefertiti, I am Baxter E. Hall. The name of the book is Angelic 8, A Letter to Zara. And I want everyone to know, whether they're listening or watching this, that you are all capable. You just have to be sure to embrace your own frequency. So thanks again, Nef, and to everyone watching and listening. Next time, peace.
Welcome into his brain, welcome into his frequency. Enter at your own risk, come be at peace with me.
Thank you so much for watching this video. If you haven't already, please hit the like button, please subscribe, share, and also hit that notification button as well. Thank you so much.
Financial literacy to authentic Black history.